I remember from my banking, either you want to be a leader on your field or followers. Which side of you want to choose? And at MFC, we said, no, we want to be a leader in this sector. We don't want to be a followers. And it requires a lot of work to be a leader. People, when they go dine out, they kind of would like to be seen and to see. So eliminate as much as possible in your design from having different sections, I would say.
Interesting.
The nice thing in Saudi Arabia, the changes, you feel it.
Oh,
every
totally.
couple of
Definitely
months,
feel
not
it.
every year, every couple of months.
Yes.
You feel the changes and what is happening and how it's progressing and what is the things that is happening and how it's positively affecting the businesses and the upcoming new businesses.
Welcome to Success Saudi, a podcast featuring leaders and entrepreneurs in Saudi Arabia. Our aim is to provide you with local tips and wisdom to help you on your own journey to success. My name is Maria Kamedi, and I'm here today with Faisal Shaker. Faisal is a visionary entrepreneur, restaurateur, co-founder and CEO of Modern Food Company, or MFC. The MFC portfolio of brands includes many of Riyadh's finest, such as San Carlo Cicchetti, Urth Cafe, Billionaire, the award-winning Peruvian-Japanese restaurant COYA, Signor Sassi, the homegrown and award-winning Japanese concept MYAZU, among many others. Prior to founding MFC Group, Faisal was in the banking and investment industry for over 15 years at firms such as Merrill Lynch, SABB, Barclays and Audi Capital. Moreover, Faisal also sits on various boards and committees, including those of several publicly listed companies. Thank you very much, Faisal, for being with us this morning and to share your expertise. The first question I have is, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
At the beginning, I would like to say thank you, Maria. Thank you for taking the time and efforts, and thanks for Success Saudi for giving me this opportunity.
Welcome.
Going back to your questions, what was when I was a kid, basically it's anything with challenges. So adventures. I'm very adventurous at that time. And I don't want to say I'm a kind of a very quiet kid. No, I always look into what is there as an adventure to do and to explore behind what is available.
So what adventures are available for a child growing up? Did you grow up in Riyadh? Or?
Yes, born and raised in Riyadh.
Okay, so what were the adventures you were attracted to?
Related to bikes, adventures, deserts, adventures, and for example, driving, etc. So that kind of adventures that I'm a person at that time.
Okay, great. And what did you choose to study?
Later, yes, from my childhood, yes, I was focusing on the business side.
Okay.
I liked the business, always thinking about business, marketing, field of studies. And thank God, everything went smooth. And by the time I'm in the university, in the college, I chose, which I was almost dreaming about, which is business administration.
So you studied business administration. Did you have any role models in your life at that time who were working in business and you thought, I'd like to be like them?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'm being the youngest among my family and seeing my father and my brothers. That was definitely my role model.
They were in business also?
No, my father was not in business. He's in the government. He was in the military. But always when we talk about businesses and the business side of and going to the private sector, etc. So this was my goal. So my goal was, I want to be one day in the banking. And what do I need in the banking? Do I need to be a very technical, specialized in the banking, or more into banking career? Okay, so I thought, no, it's the banking career more than being a technical side of the banking, only on the analysis side, for example. That's what I mean by technical side or something like that. And I wanted to be which area of the banking? The banking is wide. I want to be in the core banking areas.
Okay.
And which I mean by core banking areas, there is the general, whereas you have human resources, you have administration, etc. And there is the core banking area within the banking where you will become a banker.
Okay, and so how did you know which area of banking you wanted to be in? Did you know this while you were studying or upon graduation?
Yeah, I would say, and during my studies, I was exploring the banking and different banking the sectors within the banking, and definitely yes, it was my choice is to start with the corporate banking. When I got to understand more about corporate banking and investment banking and retail banking, etc., different sectors, so my choice was corporate banking to start with.
Did you have opportunities for any internships or to get any exposure to the real banking world while you were still studying, or was it when you got your first job?
No, when I got, it was not the first job. It was during my higher education when I was in the US doing my master in economics. I got the chance to work as a part-time, at Merrill Lynch in the US. So that gave me, because I wanted to be in the banking, so that gave me even more idea about banking when I explored that.
Okay, excellent. And then you graduated, and did you come back to Saudi?
To Saudi,
after that?
and the first thing I joined SABB.
Excellent.
Yes, and even I did not apply to many other opportunities. So the moment I graduated from the US, I applied to SABB to be enrolled in their Future Managers Program, they call it, or Junior Officer Development Program, JODP. And I went through the assessment and everything, and I was lucky to be accepted.
And how many years did you end up working in banking?
In total, more than 15 years.
More than 15 years.
Yes.
So at what point did you consider leaving the banking industry and starting your own business?
Yeah, that was back in 2017, 16, when I started to say, now it's the time that I have to leave. Yeah, in 2016, but I left on 2017, so it took me 1 year after my decision, due to my responsibility at that time with Audi Capital, investment bank, or investment authorized person, we call it.
But you started your business before that?
Yes,
correct?
Started the business before that.
Okay, so you were still working
definitely with my partners. So one of my ex-partners who was there in the company, who was in the managerial role at that time.
Okay.
One of the founders at that time.
I see that a lot in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of individuals who work in the private sector and they also have their own business.
Yes. Yeah, it happens. People, they start their own businesses while they're occupying. But my duties was as an employee, and my role as a CEO of Audi was a huge role and consuming a lot of time.
I can imagine.
So yes, definitely I was doing that after work hours and putting a lot of efforts and everything in MFC. So I was not, I was involved from day one, from the day we decided to form the company, etc. But I was not on the daily things in a direct way. It was indirect way.
Okay.
I was there as a co-founder,
Yep.
as a shareholder, and giving advices and consultations after working hours
Okay.
and during working hours, etc. So by phone call. So this is why. So then I had to let go my banking career and say now I have to move because the business is growing, and I cannot have both. Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Was that a hard decision to make?
Yeah, it was a hard decision. Number one, it's taking risk, okay, by leaving your job and my passion. It was at that time. So both of them, and going and moving to a newly established small company.
And at that time, how many restaurants did you have?
At that time, it was one restaurant.
Oh, only one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was only one restaurant. And the potential is how to grow the company and make it multiple restaurants, and to go and open the second, third, and etc. and different brands, different cuisines, and put a structure. It was a very small company that has been formed, requires to have an institutional kind of way of organization. So shifting the firm from a startup firm, okay, to an institutional firm. So that was not easy, and a big role, and a big job and responsibility as well.
I can imagine your banking experience helped a lot with that.
Oh, definitely, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Was it a good move? Are you glad you shifted at that time?
At that time, I did not have a choice. This is number one. And I was glad and happy to move and to do the move because, as I mentioned to you, I'm into a challenge. So I said, yes, it's a challenging point. I have to take it the sooner the better. Okay, no point of delaying that. And definitely I can see a bright future for the company. I can see, and there is, in Saudi Arabia, there is a lot of opportunities that MFC can do. Yeah.
Things were just starting to change at that time, right?
At that
2016,
time. Absolutely,
2017.
and people moving out and etc. So I said, not to lose that. Always I remember from my banking, either you want to be a leader on your field or followers. Which side of you want to choose? And at MFC we said no, we want to be a leader in this sector. We don't want to be a followers, and it requires a lot of work to be a leader.
Wow. And you mentioned that you were passionate about banking.
Yeah, definitely. I was passionate about banking. Yeah.
Or were you also passionate about the F&B and restaurants?
F&B, restaurants, it was passion, part of my hobbies, part of my traveling schedule. So if I'm traveling, a big part of my traveling reasons is to go around for the restaurants and cafes.
Yes.
So it was part of my passion, definitely.
A lot of people think, well, it's my impression that because they love dining and they love restaurants and entertaining, that the restaurant business is a good business to go into. However, I think in the US, it's something like 60% of restaurants fail in the first year and 80% within 5 years. So certainly it's more than just enjoying.
Always, this is my advice to people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they took the decisions and to enter this field because they love dining outside. It's not about only the love of going dining outside or the enjoyments of dining outside. No, it's beyond that. Is the joy of creation, development. Plus, you need to have the know-how of handling a business, managing a business, creating team, What is the success of MFC is not Faisal. No, the success of MFC came from MFC family members. What I mean by family members, the team members who are working in MFC. So it's a team effort, teamwork, and my role was, as a CEO, is a facilitator. Okay, what I mean by facilitator, someone who facilitate people ideas, someone who bring people ideas into a table, someone who can be able to get more ideas out of people, and how to sit together and put them together to come up with something very nice. So that was basically people who want to go into that sector. Definitely, they need to think, yes, they are passionate and they enjoy and going out and dining outside, but this is the enjoyment part of it, and the nice part of it. But the heavy part of it is working on that field and making it happen. We always say it's nice to have, but not easy to do.
Yes. What are some mistakes that you made early on in your career as a CEO of MFC? Or just starting the business when you were first starting with your partners?
Nothing that I can really remember as a major mistakes. We only learn from our mistakes, let me put it. And I'm sure we have done a lot of mistakes, okay? And many mistakes. But nothing, honestly speaking, nothing that has been done is a major. Okay, it was a learning process. So we went through that learning process. And nothing that I remember, thank God, alhamdulillah, nothing that I remember was major.
Any significant learning points that you learned early on? I mean, we can think about business in one way, but the operations on the ground and reality is different.
100%. One of the things that the strategy in the beginning was and the idea and the vision was to look for franchisee, to be a franchisee. So we're looking for franchisors, different concepts and franchisors. So that was one of them. So franchisors, and being a franchisee, you need to look into local market adaptation. And this is what we all learned in our international business courses.
Right.
Yeah. What is international business? Is part of it is the adaptation, local market adaptation. Yeah. Part of that said, okay, why don't we start developing our own? So maybe that decision came little bit late, okay, on developing our own creations. So this is one of the learning that we have shifted a little bit in our strategy, that why don't we have it a hybrid between concepts that we franchise, and very unique concepts and very nice concepts, and concept that we need to create. Creation, it need a platform. And you need to develop that platform to be able to create your own concepts. And it's really nice where you have the challenge of, not the challenge, the opportunity of creating brands, going through the creations of the brands. So there is a different process.
Yes.
By getting only assigning, being the licensee. So you chose the brand, you like the brand, but you haven't been part of that process of creating that brand.
Right.
So you follow the brand guidelines, you follow the instruction systems and everything of that brand. Totally different from creating your own brands, because you have to take back from the branding and steps, choosing the name, the meaning of
everything, every little detail.
Every little details, and that's an excitement by itself.
Yes. Do you think, though, that it was advantageous for you to start with the franchises? Because was this your first endeavor in the food and beverage industry?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there was a lot to learn.
Yes, the first one, I believe, starting with, it started with Nozumi at that time. It was a small restaurant based in London only, in Pigeon Place. And because it's a small restaurant, so it wasn't never been an institutional restaurant similar to other brands around, similar to COYA, similar to big names. And we have been at that time trying to approach too many big names.
Okay.
But everyone will ask for what is your profile and what is your experience in managing similar restaurants, because we cannot, even if you are passionate, if you have the financial means, and if you have the willingness, is not enough. What is your experience?
Yeah, because their brand is on the line.
Yes, their brands are on the line. So therefore, at that time, we could not find one of the big names. So we signed with Nozumi, and we managed to open Nozumi. We struggled a lot. We learned a lot during the opening because there was no system at that time.
They didn't even have system.
No, they
because
don't have
it was
system.
Only one restaurant.
It's one
right?
restaurant, so they don't require system. Investing in systems, it means that you have the strategy of going abroad, strategy of opening multiple restaurants at the same time. Do you need to put that kind of investment? At that time, maybe they did not. So there is no franchisee manual. There is no system in place, recipe books in place, etc. Too many things.
Wow.
So we have to develop that. Fine, the concept is not bad, nice. Now we need to do local adaptation. And we did a lot of local adaptation in the beginning, including the design. There was no design guidelines. There is no brand guidelines. So we need to develop everything from A to Z. So it's a brand it's a restaurant that is open there, but there is no any full package that you're gonna receive with that franchisee. But no one else accepted us at that time.
Interesting. So it wasn't your typical franchise agreement. You practically developed it for the local market.
Almost, yes. We developed it from the local market. We have completely different menu. And we opened back in September 2014, Nozumi.
Okay.
5 months later, Nozumi London closed. After 5 months only.
How long had they been open previously?
Previously, I think back in 2012 or 11, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so they weren't even open that long.
Not been for that long, yeah.
Okay.
Only for a couple of years.
Wow, so they closed.
And not well known for tourists. It was only known for the community within there and people who lives in London and knows London very well. But tourists and visitors coming from abroad to London, Nozumi was not one of the flagship at that time. I cannot compare it to Zuma, cannot compare it to Le Petit Maison, cannot compare it to Nobu, cannot compare to Hakkasan, and any of these big names that is well known in
So what did that mean for you when they closed?
We said we are in our own, so we have to continue. This is even more challenge. So guys, let's focus. Let's have more confident on ourselves. And anyway, go back to day one. We've done a lot of things, so don't worry, we will be able to continue. So it's the team, basically.
Wow.
And from our side is how to motivate the team and how to get the team involved, and no one think about that they have closed and they will never affect us. And this because you don't want to be affected during your starting your business.
Right. When you're talking about local adaptation, besides the obvious ways that restaurants must adapt when they come to the kingdom, right now, of course, not serving pork and alcohol and those things, like in what other ways must restaurants adapt to
Adaptation,
the local culture?
Adaptation start from the design. how to design your restaurants. This is where the adaptation really starts. How the people like to be seated. We don't like to sit in private rooms or private sections or too many sections, closed sections. In Saudi, I mean,
Anymore.
restaurants anymore. No, not the partitions. I'm talking about from a design point when you have different elevations and different sections.
Right.
So you have to reduce the different elevations from a decoration point of view. And because people, when they go dine out, they kind of would like to be seen and to see. So eliminate as much as possible in your design from having different sections, I would say.
Interesting.
Okay, this is one of the, so it starts from a design point. Okay, where this is how the consumer behavior. So you have to study exactly your consumer, the local market consumer behavior. And this is how they want it to be. If I'm going and dining out, part of it is to enjoy the food, enjoy the service, and to see people.
Right.
So don't put me in a private room, or don't put me in a private section. People say, no, I don't want this private section. Can you move me to the main dining room or the main dining area? Okay, so this is starting from a design point. Then the local taste. Always in every market around the world, they have their local taste. And if you go, for example, in Italy, they like the pasta to be originally al dente. Okay, here we like to have it. It's too, for us, is we call it that it's not really well cooked, so we need to have it more cooked. Okay, which is, and I believe the same in the US. If you go to the US and try the pastas in the US, is not as originally the way it is served in Italy. Okay, the way it's served in the US is more creamy, more cooked. So every market, they have their local adaptation and local taste requirements. What people have been grown within their homes. Okay,
Right.
For example, mac and cheese is very famous in the US. But if you go to Italy, in any Italian restaurant, they don't have mac and cheese. They don't serve you mac and cheese.
True.
In the US, fettuccine alfredo with chicken is a famous, one of the most famous dishes. But in Italy, no, it's not one of the fettuccine alfredo with the cream and with the chicken. They don't serve it. They don't do it.
So what else appeals to the Saudi palate?
Saudi palate, it's more flavor.
More flavor?
And less, the silent food is not matching the local flavors in general. So there should be kind of a flavor, so people taste some kind of a flavor in the food. So it means a lot of efforts need to be done. So sometimes simple dishes, not very hard to work. And Saudi is similar to the rest of the Middle Eastern. So if you go in general, Middle Eastern flavors are rich, okay, in the food. Simple dish, but there is a lot of ingredients inside.
True.
A simple dish, but there is a lot of ingredients and mixes inside. So this is where the adaptation.
Do Saudis generally prefer sweeter drinks? Also, I've noticed Spanish lattes are very popular.
Yes.
Are sweets?
Yes. In general, it depends on the younger generations. So the younger generations, they like much sweeter flavors in their drinks or desserts. Elder generations, they like to have it for health purposes, etc. So less sugary, less sweet. And I think every 10 years, and this is what some of the studies says, or 7 years, I don't know, I'm not, that human being palates change. Yeah, so, and you can notice that from our kids, for example. Their palates keep changing the more they start up with a lot of candies, and they like to have, and they crave for candies. The more they grow up, and that stops and move to different things.
Well, now our kids are eating sushi. I never ate sushi when I was a kid.
Yeah, options was not there as yes. And
Right.
yeah, now they're becoming more with the internet, with the globalization, they can see everything, and everything is there in the digital media.
True. So now 12 years experience, or have you been
Since we started
since you started MFC?
we formed the company back in 2012. We started our first operation in September 2014, which is we just completed 10 years from our operation.
Oh, wow,
So
congratulations.
now this month, thank you very much.
That's amazing. What are the benefits for you to bring in more franchises versus developing your own homegrown brands? Because there's now it seems like before there was a lot of bringing the foreign expertise into Saudi, and now it's about, okay, let's develop our own here
Yeah,
in Saudi
definitely.
and export those.
Yeah, both are both are needed options. So definitely you have, as a company, you need to continue developing and creation. But let's say that not we have to respect and know that there is good concepts, I would say, outside, and not easy to do something similar, I would say, and they are a very good concept, and it has been really well done, developed. So not every concept we can do something similar. Number one, and there is a very good concepts that you really would like to say, okay, this concept, I would like to have this concept because, and JV with them or get the licensee and to be their licensee or something like that, because they have some new ideas.
Okay.
There is a huge creation and development behind the scene, between food creations, between service, between brand, name, the concept itself. Okay, there is something behind it that is very successful, make it very successful and unique.
I have to imagine too, with the joint ventures, you're able to learn a lot.
Yeah, always. It's a new experience, and from every experience, like if working with different banks, every bank I go with, I have learned a lot. Every position I take, every day I'm learning something new, although I'm giving, but I'm learning as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what does your day look like as CEO of MFC?
Happy day.
Happy day?
Happy day,
Every
definitely.
day, happy day?
Every day.
Wow.
I'm enjoying part of being a co-founder, part of being a shareholder in the company. What makes me happy is dealing with the people surrounding me. My brothers and sisters in the company, which is MFC family. I mean, MFC family, brother and sisters, not. So we are one family, all of us. We are almost 1,700 people in the company. So we only consider ourselves, and we only call them MFC family. So this is the real MFC family, and this is what makes me happy. The support and passion that they are giving me, the ideas, chatting about new things, new concepts, the challenge, the passion, sharing the passion, everything. That's what makes my day a very excited day. I start my day like normal people. I wake up around 7:30 in the morning because I sleep late. So I have to get at least a little bit enough of a sleep to keep me awake for the full of day, because we finish late at night.
Yep.
So we are totally different. And we always say this type of sector and operation, it's 365 days, 7 days a week. It's almost 24-hour operation. Yes, the operating hours of the restaurant, but there is the team operating hours is totally different from the opening operating hours.
Ordering, preparation,
and so
cleaning.
preparation, cleaning, and so they start from 10 a.m. in the morning, they finish 4 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so therefore our working hours is operation working hour. I have to be, and but what keep me energized and excitement about it is the passion and as I mentioned to you, my colleagues and team who make me passionate about it. So I wake up 7:30 in the morning, sometimes at 8. I start reading some of my emails and messages before I come to my office. Around 9:30, I'm in the office, but already I started work from home. Because once I'm in the office, we have a policy that all of us, yes, like anyone else, you have an appointments and scheduled meetings and scheduled agenda, and you have unscheduled meetings. And in our business, we have a lot because we hate bureaucracy in the way we are running the business. So I don't like bureaucracy. It means that we need to get things done as fast as possible. And therefore, we have the office is open, the door is open, completely open, and people start coming in and discussing daily matters, opportunities, ideas. Okay, and when I say opportunities, mainly ideas. Okay, and to move forward quickly and not to kill these ideas and not to kill people's creativity. So that's how's the day until I stay in the office, usually around 8 p.m.
Wow.
Usually, yes. 7:30, 8 p.m. Sometimes more. It depends on the schedule. And then I will be visiting operations. Okay, random visits, operation. Or meeting with the chefs for tasting new development, dish development, tasting development, or some operational aspects or service or to look into or anything related to the operation, I would say.
Wow.
So I dine every day, almost.
You dine every day?
Almost.
At one of your
Yes.
restaurants?
Yes. Almost. Okay, so can you imagine? At least 6 days out of 7, I'm dining outside, or 5 days out of 7.
And how do you turn off from work? I mean, in such an industry that's 24/7 and you're the CEO and you have all these restaurants?
I'm not keen to turn off
Completely
at all. As I mentioned, once it's a passion. So restaurants and dining is a passion for me. Creation, sitting down with the chefs and chatting about new ideas, new creations, that's a passion. New ideas for service or etc., it's another passion. So they're all a passion for me, so I'm not bothered at all, and I don't feel it. Okay. Job administration office within the office. Thank God I have a very well-capable team who are handling a big chunk of that part. So I'm not worried. Okay, my colleagues, senior colleagues, I'm not worried about anything like that. I'm there, yes. I'm available to help, yes. We discuss on a daily basis and move forward. But thank God I have a good team to carry that part as well. Otherwise, as you mentioned, I will be stuck. Okay, and
you would be drained.
Definitely, and therefore I don't feel the pressure.
What have been one of your proudest moments?
Definitely in life, as kids, in business, yeah, definitely my family. Okay, my family. I have my wife and 3 kids.
MashaAllah.
Oh, yes, my daughter and 2 sons. And seeing them growing up, I'm very proud of that. Unfortunately, they don't see me a lot. Okay, but they understand. They totally understand, and why I'm busy and everything. And thank God they can feel and see.
Yeah, do they like to come to the restaurants? And
yeah, they do like it, but because yes, definitely they do enjoy it. Absolutely. Okay, and this is from a family and lifestyle.
Yeah.
At work is what I'm proudest moment is looking at the team winning prizes and getting success and awards and seeing the team happy. That makes me very happy.
What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs in the F&B sector?
Enjoying dining out is something plus. Investing for the sake of investments only. And if you look at it as a return on investment, is not. You have to be passionate and having the patience and the long working hours, and you know that you are going for an operational kind of business, part of the business. You have to be very passionate about it and ready and prepared. Because like any other operational businesses and sectors, once you are into these sectors, it will take a lot of your personal time and personal life. Either family, which is number one, important, or the bigger family, or even friends, or traveling, or doing the other part of life. Because, as I mentioned to you, you have to lead by example. And if your team members, colleagues at work, don't feel that you are part of what exactly happening and day to day, and I don't know how they will be able to perceive you. It's not. So you have to lead by example, and you have to show, because there is always a say, operations, no vacations. So operations, it's a heavy, and you choose to be on that field, so you have to take the good and bad about this. If you're only looking from an investment point, it's a nice field. It's for people who would like to take from A to Z and not part of it only, to enjoy part of it, to enjoy the good and bad things, the heavy operation, the long working hours. The fact is, it's all year long, 7 days a week, almost 24 hours. If you like this fact, please go ahead and do it, and it's an enjoyable. And if you don't like that, the operational part of it, and only you enjoy the dining part of it, that's not the case. Continue enjoying hanging out without having headache.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're not going to enjoy as much when you're losing money or there's problems.
And it's not only losing money, responsibility.
Yeah.
You have people, and you're responsible about these people. You cannot just let go. Once you have people, you have to feel the responsibility. And it's a big responsibility.
Do you think that's part of what's made MFC so successful, is the fact that you are leading by example and you're here every day, all day, and the administration, the operations? Do you think that's a reason for your success?
The main reason for success, as I mentioned to you, is the team I'm working with.
Yes.
Okay, the members that I'm working with, they are
Very
the major part of the success. The support of my partners, shareholders, and board, definitely that's a major success. Definitely yes. When to lead by example, as a CEO, you have to lead by example. And this is one of the very major success factor for not only F&B, but any sector. So if you don't, even during my banking career when I was in Audi, was the success for me is leading by example. Okay, and everyone else seeing that, oh, he is working hard more than anyone else, and he's there, communication, good in communication. You can communicate with him anytime. He's available. He's always available. He's always on top of things. He cares. Okay, and he takes full responsibility. Okay, so yeah, definitely.
Faisal, what do foreign investors need to understand before they come to do business in Saudi Arabia?
Again, definitely they need to understand the business culture in Saudi Arabia, the regulations, which is very important. Any business, they have regulations and they need to understand and study well the regulation. But that's very easy because you have local, international legal firms, usually, or financial firms that will help any investors to understand any market similar to any other market around globally. But the beauty about it, it's not about understanding. What they need to understand nicely is the government is welcoming international investors to come in. And this is you rarely see from all other countries, that they are welcoming and they promote for it. What does it mean? It means we are welcoming you and please come in. And that should be an exciting part, and a decision positively should be perceived as positively from any international investors, that the country is welcoming and looking for international investors to come in, not the vice versa, fearing international investments to come in or to take part of the businesses in Saudi, or to protect the mindset of protecting the local businesses. No, they want to add into the businesses by having international investors coming into the market. And always, by the way, when I talk to international F&B operators, fine dining operators, I say, guys, why don't you come to Saudi? They say, yeah, as a franchisor. I said, not necessarily as a franchisor. The opportunity is open for you. You can come directly and operate directly. And it doesn't require only to franchise to Saudi. It can be through direct ownership, it can be through JV, joint ventures, and as the third option, which is the well-known option and people look, which is as a franchisors and franchisee.
So what is the government doing to help attract foreign investors to come in the F&B sector? Or how are they helping them?
Government is facilitating. If you see the government efforts that they are putting by facilitating for international investors, they have their offices through Ministry of Investments all around the world. They are doing global tours and to make people understand more and ask questions and ask more about the investments in Saudi, the regulations in Saudi, what does it, how they can facilitate, whom should they call in Saudi Arabia, if they can hook them up with the local legal firms based in Saudi, okay, either local or JV or international names, but that based in Saudi, or banks, and how to set up your company, Ministry of Commerce, what does it require to set up the company and everything. So you have a full different entities that has been allocated by the government only to facilitate for international investors to come into Saudi and the process of creating a business in Saudi Arabia.
And do they also support after the fact, once they're here and up
The
and
beauty
running?
in Saudi Arabia, yes, they do support, but everything is becoming online, okay, and digitalized. So even us, we don't now need to visit any of the Saudi, the government entities like before. It's no longer. Almost everything is online. So basically, Saudi or non-Saudi company, they have the access, and it's and follow the instructions, and it's fair and square for everyone. So there is no any favorism or preferences to any companies, whomever they are. So basically, everyone have the chance to go in and do everything online. So it's an easy process, which is now everyone else around the world is moving online businesses, making it easy, clear, and straightforward. So the bureaucracy is no there. There is no bureaucracy in establishing businesses. It's very clear, it's very nice and neat and easy to do for the people who want to do business.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
For how long, Maria, you've been now in Saudi?
8 years.
8 years. And how did you see the progress yourself during the 8 years?
Well, when I first came to Saudi, when we wanted to go out to eat, for example, Nozomi was open, right?
Ah, okay, yeah, yes,
and
of course.
there was Tokyo and Benihana.
And
I think
Benihana.
those were like the three.
Yeah.
You know, there was a family section and a single section.
Yeah, there was 2 doors in Nozomi, single and family.
Yeah, and things have just changed so rapidly. Now we have many, many options. We really enjoy dining out here. And
do you know that the regulation never been there to say that you need to have a segregation?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
No, it was not part of the regulation. It was the norm. This is
the cultural norm. Yeah,
cultural norm, and this is how everyone thought that it was part of the regulation. What happened next, later, and then how the changes happened, they made the regulations very clear that no, you don't need to have a segregation. You're not required to have a segregation, because segregation was not part of the written regulations, that you need to have a family section or a single section, or you need to have 2 doors, or you need to have curtains or partitions or something like that. It became part of the norms. So people thought this is how it was working, but now everything is clear, and now the businesses make sense, because imagine you need to have double the size to have 2 sections. Number of the people working on that place, you need to increase it, because some people will serve, you need people to serve each sections.
Right.
And if your sections are not packed, it means that you have a waste.
True.
From a business. Yeah, waste of place, cost of developing that place, and everything. So now it's more efficient, and it's nicer.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely, it's normal.
Yeah, even when I travel back home, I mean, sorry, Mom. I look forward to coming back to Riyadh, because we just have so
when
many
you compare the
options.
dining experience before 8 years and now, do you feel the difference as an experience, atmosphere, vibes?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A totally different experience. Yeah, and we really enjoy it, and I'm just thankful that we're here to experience this.
Yeah, and
it's very exciting.
And Maria, you will be surprised. Going forward, even it will be much nicer in Saudi Arabia in general, by all the project that is happening, the mega projects that is happening. We are in the development phase, and we are fast development phase, and all these developments will take place very soon, one after the other. And once you see the full picture completed, you will see even much, 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 much nicer vibes, atmosphere, quality of life, quality of service in Saudi Arabia. Imagine now by 2030, we have the Expo 2030. And 2034, we're going to have the World Cup. And too many things in between. And before 2030, after 2030, and going forward. Okay, the Asian Cup, etc. Too many things is happening. And the nice thing in Saudi Arabia, the changes, you feel it.
Oh,
every couple of months, not every year, every couple of months, you feel the changes, and what is happening, and how it's progressing, and what is the things that is happening, and how it's positively affecting the businesses and the upcoming new businesses. So that's why when you ask me about the future, the future is very bright.
Yes.
And it requires companies to stay on top of it, because they have to maintain and grow, and growing is not easy. Maintaining is not easy. So yes, it needs a lot of efforts. Definitely it needs a lot of efforts. Nothing that can happen for free. Nothing is coming for free. Okay, you need to work for it, and you need to work for it hard, But yes, if you see with the positiveness and bright, the picture is very bright. And it's really, really, really excitement. It's at least one of the fastest growing economy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the fastest growing economy. So it's booming.
And I think everybody too, it's easy to believe in this grand vision because we're all experiencing the progress every day.
Every day, yes, you feel it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky to be here.
All of us.
What are you most excited about in the coming year?
The market of Saudi Arabia. The market of Saudi Arabia is booming. It's growing day by day. And that what makes MFC or any other company is looking forward for having more within Saudi Arabia, more presence within Saudi Arabia, growing within Saudi Arabia, and all the excitement that is happening in Saudi Arabia, it's making MFC future a very bright future. It's not easy, definitely. Competition, which is normal. You need to have a competition. Competition will put us on top of our toes, okay?
And a lot more competition than from when you first started, right?
Yeah, yes, competition everywhere.
Yeah.
If you go to football clubs, there is a competition. If you go any sports, it's all about competition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever club versus another club, it's all about competition. And I will say the top ranking people, they are all winners, but who's on top of it? And there will be, unfortunately, losers. What I mean by losers in our businesses, people who will exit the market, and that's normal. They should have this as part of in any place around the world. As you mentioned in the beginning, 60% of the businesses, they vanish in the first year in the US. So it's everywhere. The market is open for anyone to come in. And again, the market, it means it's open. It means there is no entry barriers. So if you don't have an entry barrier, you need to be on top of your toes and get things at the right way. So you need to have a proper business plan, you need to have a proper strategy, and you know exactly what are you doing. It's not by luck, it's by hard work.
Yep, well said. And I'd say MFC is very well positioned to...
And the most tough things is to retain your position. And that's always, remember, that's more difficult than growing.
That's why you're here every day at 7:30.
Yeah,
You're
if
starting
you say
your
what
days.
worries you more, well, this is what worries me more. We say, for example, MYAZU received the best restaurants in 50 Best or any other one of the rating agencies.
Okay. Congratulations, well
Thank
deserved.
Thank you very much. Now it's more difficult and more pressure on us. How to retain that? Okay, is not to feel comfortable and say, oh, no, we can relax. No, because others would like, now they're pushing hard to be on that position. And there is a more competition is coming, and they are learning, and there are more know-how is coming. And people continue to develop and learn from their mistakes and improve as well. So the more they improve, so you have always to bridge the gap. Always you have to increase your, so you have to always to increase the gap.
Yes.
In general, in competition, to keep progressing and increase. So that's not easy, by the way. That's the toughest things to do, because here, what else, how can I improve? What else can I do? And this is where always you have to be on the R&D side. You always have to be on the creation side. You always have to free your mind on thinking of new ideas. Okay. Your team, not only ideas, your team. If you go to a place and you don't feel the team inside the place are happy, you feel it.
Yes.
Negative vibes, you will feel it.
Totally.
So your team, you have to look after your team. Okay, they are the people who are behind the scene doing everything, and they have to get the credit for everything has been done.
Yep.
Okay, so it's a teamwork, it's a team effort, and you have to look after everyone in the organization, because everything is reflecting, everything happens reflecting on your guests or your customers, and you will see it. Okay. People, when they say there is a nice vibes, it's not only about one element of that vibes. It's not all about the music. It's not only about the AC and the temperature. It's not all about the hygiene. It's about the people smiling. There is something positive about this place. There is something nice about this place. It's everything, from opening the door and welcoming them, from taking the call and doing the reservation, to opening the door and welcoming them, until the moment they are leaving, saying, "Have a nice day and goodbye. Have a nice evening or a day." Okay, so it started from receiving the call for the reservation, or receiving an email for a reservation query. Start from there all the way until the moment you say goodbye, and hopefully you enjoyed your dinner or lunch.
So there's so many elements that contribute to the guest experience, but at the end of the day, it's the team and the people that make that impact. And
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The chef behind the scene who are working hard for that perfection and consistency, and get you the same dish every time, the same, exactly what you have used to. And consistent and consistency, what makes people confident about this place.
Yep.
Okay. And they will pay respect to this place, because they say, always I come and I get the same exact taste of food, exact level of service, or even better. But at least the consistency, it's extremely important. You don't want people to get disappointed.
True. Yes. Well.
And we have a lot of repeated guests in Saudi. We are one of the highest markets with repeated guests. So some guests will visit your restaurant 3 times a week. You will be surprisingly, they know the taste more than you.
Oh, interesting.
Or more than me, I mean. So why? Because they've been dined in, and they're not influenced and not emotional. So they dine in and they taste the same dish, so they can tell you exactly if something happened or changed.
Okay. So you're having those repeat
and
guests.
That's putting pressure as a market.
It must be, but MFC has done an amazing job, and I mean, we can see with all the awards and recognition, but even more than that, we can see by when we come here this morning and Urth Cafe is packed already at 10 a.m. So congratulations to all your success and many more. And thank you for taking the time to share your experience with us, Faisal.
Thanks a lot, Maria. Thank you. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you.